What if the very thing you've been told to eliminate from your life is actually the key to unlocking your greatest potential? Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, not literally, but metaphorically, at the precipice of a major life decision. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and that familiar knot forms in your stomach. Society tells you this feeling is something to medicate, manage, or make disappear. But what if I told you that a 19th century Danish philosopher discovered something revolutionary about this experience? Something that could completely transform how you view anxiety forever. The rebel who rewrote philosophy. In the cobblestone streets of Copenhagen in 1813, a child was born who would grow up to challenge everything the intellectual world believed about human existence. Søren Kierkegaard wasn't just another philosopher pontificating from an ivory tower. He was a rebel with a cause, a thinker who dared to ask the questions that made everyone else uncomfortable. Here's what makes Kierkegaard's story fascinating. While his contemporaries were busy constructing grand, systematic philosophies that explained everything from a safe distance, Kierkegaard was diving headfirst into the messy, complicated, utterly human experience of actually living. His father, a deeply philosophical man, had filled young Søren's mind with profound questions from an early age. But when Kierkegaard entered the University of Copenhagen to study philosophy and theology, something shocking happened. He became completely disillusioned. Why? Because everything he encountered felt dead, detached from real life, lacking the pulse of authentic human experience. Imagine studying literature but never feeling moved by a poem, or studying music theory but never being stirred by a melody. That's what philosophy had become for Kierkegaard, intellectually impressive but spiritually barren. This dissatisfaction wasn't just academic frustration, it was an existential crisis that would reshape the entire trajectory of Western thought. Kierkegaard realized that traditional philosophy was asking the wrong questions. Instead of "what is truth?" he asked, "What is truth for me?" Instead of "what should humans do?" he wondered, "how should I live?" This shift wasn't subtle, it was seismic. The revolutionary discovery: angst as your secret weapon. Here's where Kierkegaard's insights become life-changing. In his groundbreaking work, The Concept of Anxiety, he introduced the world to a concept that would influence everyone from Freud to Sartre to modern psychologists: angst, existential anxiety. But wait, before you think this is just another academic term, consider this startling revelation. Kierkegaard wasn't talking about clinical anxiety disorders or panic attacks. He was describing something far more profound and universal: the fundamental human response to freedom itself. Think about the last time you faced a truly open-ended choice. Not chocolate or vanilla, but something like, what career should I pursue? Or should I end this relationship? Or what kind of person do I want to become? That dizzy, almost nauseating feeling that accompanies such moments, that's what Kierkegaard called the dizziness of freedom. Here's the mind-bending part. Most people experience this dizziness and immediately want to escape it. They seek certainty, rules, other people's approval, anything to make the feeling go away. But Kierkegaard discovered that this anxiety isn't a bug in human consciousness. It's a feature. From the moment we're born, we're thrown into a world that's inherently unpredictable and brimming with infinite possibilities. Every day, we encounter situations and choices that provoke a deep sense of unease. But here's what Kierkegaard realized that others missed. This unease isn't a sign that something's wrong with us. It's a sign that we're alive, conscious, and genuinely free. The paradox that changes everything. Prepare to have your mind blown by this paradox. We desperately crave certainty and security, yet we exist in a reality where life is in constant flux and no absolute certainty can ever be attained. We want clear answers, but the most important questions in life: who am I? What should I do? What's the meaning of my existence? Have no objective, universal answers. This isn't a cosmic joke or a design flaw. According to Kierkegaard, this is precisely what makes us human. We are the only beings who can contemplate our own existence, reflect on our choices, and agonize over our future. This self-awareness exposes us to a profound tension that other creatures never experience. But here's the revolutionary insight. This tension, this anxiety, this dizziness of freedom, it's not something to be cured. It's something to be embraced as the very foundation of authentic living. The modern anxiety epidemic, Kierkegaard, saw it coming. Fast forward to today, and Kierkegaard's insights feel prophetic. We live in an age of overwhelming choices, infinite information, and constant decision fatigue. We're bombarded with options about everything from what to watch on Netflix, to what career path to choose, to how to live meaningful lives. The weight of these decisions can be crushing, leading to what psychologists now call choice paralysis and contributing to skyrocketing rates of anxiety disorders. But here's what's fascinating. Kierkegaard predicted this. He recognized that the modern human condition would be characterized by a constant state of anxiety. He saw that we would be inundated with information and faced with the challenge of making decisions that align with our desired outcomes. The question is, how do we respond? The counterintuitive path to greatness. Here's where Kierkegaard's philosophy becomes genuinely life-changing. While conventional wisdom tells us to minimize anxiety, Kierkegaard argued for something radically different, using anxiety as a catalyst for greatness. Think about it. Every significant achievement in human history, every breakthrough, every moment of genuine growth has involved someone feeling anxious about stepping into the unknown and doing it anyway. Anxiety, in Kierkegaard's view, isn't the enemy of action. It's often the prerequisite for meaningful action, but not just any action will do. Kierkegaard introduced a concept that modern self-help gurus have completely missed: the importance of subjective truth. While the world pushes us toward objective standards and external validation, Kierkegaard urged us to discover a truth which is truth for me, to find the idea for which I am willing to live and die. This is radical stuff. It means your anxiety might be pointing you towards something uniquely important to you. Not to society, not to your parents, not to Instagram, but to you. That career that makes you nervous because it doesn't fit traditional definitions of success. That relationship that terrifies you because it requires vulnerability. That creative project that keeps you up at night with both excitement and fear. Your anxiety might be your inner compass pointing toward your most authentic path. Passion, the secret weapon against despair. Here's Kierkegaard's most practical insight. The antidote to anxiety-induced despair isn't the elimination of anxiety, it's the cultivation of passion. But not passion in the way we usually think about it. Kierkegaard understood that passion could take many forms: love, creative endeavors, personal growth, career pursuits, ideological commitments, or spiritual seeking. What matters isn't what you're passionate about, but that your passion is rooted in subjective truth, in what genuinely resonates with your authentic self, not what you think should resonate. This is where most people go wrong. They try to adopt other people's passions, chase socially approved dreams, or force themselves to care about things that don't genuinely move them. The result? A life that looks successful from the outside but feels empty from the inside. The breakthrough comes when you realize your anxiety about pursuing your authentic passions isn't a warning to stay away. It's a signal that you're approaching something that matters deeply to you. The leap of faith, beyond logic, into life. This is where Kierkegaard's philosophy gets truly revolutionary. He argued that the most important decisions in life can't be made through purely rational analysis. At some point, you have to make what he called a leap of faith. This doesn't necessarily mean religious faith, though it can. It means having faith in your own subjective experience, your own values, your own sense of meaning and purpose, even when you can't prove objectively that you're making the right choice. Think about it. Can you prove scientifically that you love someone? Can you demonstrate mathematically that your creative work has value? Can you offer logical certainty that your life choices will lead to fulfillment? Of course not. The most profound human experiences exist beyond the realm of objective proof. This is why Kierkegaard emphasized that commitment to subjective truth calls for a leap of faith, found trust in the authenticity of our own experiences, perspectives, and aspirations. The ultimate paradox: anxiety as your greatest teacher. Here's the final, transformative insight. What if anxiety isn't something you need to fix, manage, or overcome? What if it's something you need to learn from? Kierkegaard understood that anxiety is an inherent aspect of human consciousness, not a malfunction, but a feature that points us toward growth, authenticity, and meaning. In a culture that often stigmatizes anxiety as weakness or illness, this perspective is genuinely revolutionary. The practical application is this. Instead of asking, "How can I get rid of this anxiety?" start asking, what is this anxiety trying to tell me? What growth opportunity am I avoiding? What authentic path am I afraid to explore? What leap of faith is this discomfort inviting me to take? Living the Kierkegaardian life. By embracing anxiety, learning to coexist with it, and taking leaps of faith into what holds personal meaning and purpose, we can lead more fulfilled and authentic lives. This doesn't mean being reckless or ignoring real dangers. It means recognizing that the dizziness of freedom, that anxious excitement you feel when facing genuine choices, is often your truest self calling you toward your most authentic life. The next time you feel that familiar knot in your stomach, that racing heart, that sense of standing at the edge of something unknown, pause. Instead of reaching immediately for distraction or comfort, ask yourself, what if this anxiety is exactly where I need to be? What if this discomfort is my freedom calling? What if this dizziness is actually the feeling of being fully alive? In Kierkegaard's revolutionary vision, your anxiety isn't your enemy. It's your invitation to greatness.